What is up, Budget Billies? My name is Trail, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your fourth stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Tuesday, May the 4th. Good morning, everyone, and I hope all of you are safe this morning, especially those who live in the South and the Midwest areas, as those tornadoes were causing much damage yesterday. Hopefully no one was actually injured or any casualties. But today we do have some very good news from the Biden administration regarding more stimulus checks. President Biden himself spoke over the weekend about how the additional third stimulus check is really helping Americans. He understands and he realizes something as simple as providing a fourth stimulus check can do wonders for those who are struggling right now. We also heard from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, where she believes that one more stimulus check is needed as well. And in addition to another stimulus check, the push for universal basic income is actually heating up again. And then we also want to talk about how Americans can receive $16,000 back in childcare expenses once you file your tax return for 2021. And this is part of the American Rescue Plan. We are going to talk about all of this today, but first, if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, and stimulus update news. So if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then be sure to like this video. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, guys, President Biden is starting to send bat signals that he wants more stimulus checks. So many lawmakers, from Republicans to Democrats to congressmen, as well as a petition that received more than 2 million signatures, are calling for President Biden to send more stimulus relief aid to the American people. There have also been multiple letters written and signed by lawmakers to be sent to President Biden, urging him for more stimulus checks, as well as recurring monthly stimulus checks. So the calling for relief aid continues to mount up against him. And Biden has finally responded to the messages by saying stimulus payments are making a big difference. So he is definitely watching right now and seeing that the third stimulus checks is changing the status for some people by as little as paying one more utility bill or being able to get another round of groceries for their family. President Biden definitely gets it, and he is trying to see if the American people need one more stimulus check. Biden also said, "We've already sent more than 160 million checks out the door. It's making a difference. For many people, it's making all the difference in the world." He also said that stimulus checks put food on the table. So, President Biden is sending us the signal here and letting us know that he wants to send a fourth stimulus check. But there are a lot of other things right now that stand in the way of that. Then Biden also opened up to us by saying that he is open to more stimulus checks. So this is some very positive news that he made last week when he spoke to Congress. I told you guys in the previous video that he wants to wait for the current stimulus checks to be completely being sent out and to see how things are turning around. So in the meantime, he is working on other provisions within his two stimulus bills that are on the table. He is still pushing for the child tax credit to get that extension through 2025, which is a major lifeline for so many people that have children. The biggest problem with the stimulus checks right now is that they really do help a lot of people, but majority of them are still trying to recover. The money does not help people to get ahead. Struggling families are simply just trying to play catch up. After so many months of being without work, millions of people on unemployment, food prices continue to skyrocket. All while all of this is happening, the bills continue to keep coming in. Rent is still due on the 1st. You still need to put food on your table for you and your family. So many Americans just had to go without just because they simply could not afford things. And they had to make the tough decisions on where to spend the money that they do have. So we know for a fact that a fourth stimulus check is needed right now. And we even see more than 2 million people sign a petition to push Biden to offer monthly stimulus checks of $2,000 until the pandemic is over, which I must say that monthly reoccurring stimulus checks are going to cost a lot of money, even if you do target who actually receives them. $2,000 monthly checks is what's being called for, which I think is definitely the right amount to send to Americans. But how would they actually pay for all of this? Biden currently has 2 stimulus bills on the table worth $4.1 trillion, and the stimulus checks are not even included in those bills. But President Biden feels confident that his administration can pass the next set of bills. It wouldn't cost the average taxpayer a single dime. That's because Biden wants anyone who makes more than $400,000 per year to pay their fair share and to pay the same taxes as us regular working folks in America. That is what Biden is pushing, and this is what Biden had to say.
Look, another example. For too long, we've had a two-tiered tax system. Working families pay taxes they owe on the wages they earn, while some of the wealthiest Americans avoid paying anything close to that fair share. My plan revitalizes and the capacity of the IRS to crack down on. There's a number of studies from the former Secretary of Treasury on that millionaires and billionaires are able to avoid taxes and cheat in avoiding those taxes because we have so few agents in the IRS. The consensus is that if you increase the disclosure requirements for banks and financial institutions on accounts of the wealthiest Americans to reduce tax cheating, you will have 2 steps. 2 steps would recover $70 billion per year that currently goes unreported and unpaid. Now, we've been hearing about this for the last 10 years. Instead of cutting the number of agents, we should be increasing the number of agents. Not hounding anyone, just being able to get access to information and shut down all the tax havens from the islands to, anyway, I won't go into it. I get a little carried away with this. But look, and we can take this money, and pay for universal pre-K for every 3 and 4-year-old in America. So what is better? Making people just pay their fair share? Paid family leave, child care cost of working families, maximum of 7% of their income. Again, it's a choice. It's more important to shield millionaires from paying their fair share, or is it more important that every child gets a real opportunity to succeed from an early age and ease the burden on working families?
So he really wants the millionaires and the billionaires that avoid paying taxes every year to pay for the new stimulus bills. He wants the IRS to crack down on the people who cheat on their taxes, which I need to go against President Biden on this one, I must say. Those millionaires and billionaires are not cheating on their taxes. They are using the tax code that was developed by those people in Congress, which used to include President Biden. So come on now. So we know that majority of people in Congress make millions of dollars every year and don't pay a single dime in taxes. Congress writes the code for them to actually benefit from, and not for us regular folk or us average American worker to benefit from them. But maybe he will be able to get these laws actually changed in Congress. But then it all comes down to messing with lawmakers' money, and they are not trying to have that happen. They will defend it at whatever cost. Now, we also ended up hearing from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, where she was supporting more stimulus checks as well. She says that Americans can expect a big return from Biden's $4.1 trillion spending proposal. Yellen reiterated her support on Sunday that President Biden's spending plan will help all Americans in a major way. Yellen said that it is the best time to invest in our economy and the American people while interest rates are at all-time lows. She said, we're in a good fiscal position right now. Interest rates are historically low, and it's likely that they will stay that way for the near future. Yellen believes that we should pay for these historic investments right now in our economy. There will be a big return, is what she stated. And she also addressed the concern about inflation, which a lot of people are talking about right now. She said that she doesn't believe inflation will be an issue in the future, but if it does, they have tools to address it. So she doesn't see a problem with the United States spending more money on the necessary things to grow our country as a whole, as well as to help the American people to recover from the pandemic. So all of this is some promising news regarding another round of stimulus checks, whether these will be a one-time payment of $2,000 or will these be reoccurring monthly payments of $2,000 until the pandemic is over. I believe that the Biden administration wants to see how the economy grows over the next month or so. That will give him the notion whether to push for more stimulus checks or whether to just go forward with the infrastructure bills. Now, moving on, some Americans could see $16,000 in stimulus next year as a result of the American Rescue Plan. This would affect working parents who have challenges finding childcare and paying for childcare expenses. The American Rescue Plan includes those child tax credits for children under the age of 17 years old, which people should start receiving $350 monthly checks sometime in July. These tax credits can be used to claim qualifying expenses related to childcare, such as daycare services or in-home care services. If you need a nanny while you go to work, it will cover those expenses as well. And you can claim up to 50% of your expenses depending on your annual income. So in the end, you can claim up to $8,000 for one child and up to $16,000 for multiple dependents. In order to qualify, your household adjusted gross income needs to be less than $125,000. Now, these tax credits can get a little bit tricky if you have separated parents who share custody of a child. Obviously, your tax preparer can help you with that. But knowing that low-income earners with children might be able to receive up to $16,000 on their 2021 tax refund is some pretty awesome news. And last but not least, we do have some sad news that we want to report on, and it may not be sad to you, but it is to me. Yesterday, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates announced that they are separating after 27 years of marriage. You know, the ones that started Microsoft. And I must say that I really hate to see that this happen. I believe in marriage that should last forever. And to see one of my favorite power couples splitting up brought tears to my eyes. So I pray that everything goes well for both of them in the aftermath. And I hope that their foundation continues to do greatness in this country and in other countries. You know that they have the largest nonprofit organization in which they've donated more than $28 billion to helping other people. And those statistics cannot be ignored. And real quick, I mentioned on the previous video how Dogecoin was ready to go to the moon. Well, guys, it ended up doing just that. All day on Monday, it went up to 45 cents from the buy area in which I mentioned, which was at 38 cents. But not only was Dogecoin moving nicely, Ethereum had a super nice move on Monday as well. And over the weekend, if I was only paying attention to it, Ethereum dropped down to about $2,050 on April the 18th. And yesterday it hit a new all-time high of $3,400. That's a move of almost $1,400 in less than 7 days. I just wish that I was able to catch on it. Guys, if you are not investing a little bit of cash into these Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, you might want to allocate a few dollars just to jump in on it, guys. If you have $100 or even $50 or even $10, it doesn't matter. At least you are starting your investing journey today. You never know where it might take you in the future. But if you never start it, I can guarantee that it won't go far. And if you want to get a couple of free stocks, go ahead and check out the links down below. No pressure at all, but it is an easy way to start your investing journey with zero down. So if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask them down below. But anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. This has been your fourth stimulus check update and news for today. If you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.